Hey, it is Monday, May 13th, and welcome back to the Damon Brew Show, brought to you by Ike's Sandwiches. It is awesome to have you here. Our Plusser community has reassembled once again, and I hope everyone has a great week. Very happy belated birthday to one of our own. One of our favorites, Red Jet. We see you. We know you had a birthday. What, on Mother's Day? Hey, we got more women in our chat than most channels have out there. To those women in our chat who are mothers, a happy belated Mother's Day to you. The rest of you, I hope you went out and reached out to your mom if you're still able to over the weekend, and wish her a very good Mother's Day. It is good to have you back here. Thanks so much for spending a little time with me. You could be anywhere right now, but you're choosing to be here with me, and I thank you, and I'll never, ever go about wasting your time. That is my promise. We always start with Niners whatever, and I'll tell you, we got our first official look at the upcoming NFL schedule in terms of one game. We know one thing for sure. Thursday, September 5th, we got Ravens and Chiefs. Okay, little rumor out there that the very first Sunday night game could be the 49ers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll see if that's how the 49ers season will begin. We will know more on Wednesday when the NFL schedule officially comes out. As was suggested by today's thumbnail, I think that there are two guys who I think an awful lot of. I think they're both good players. I think that they deserve more opportunity, but I think one of them is about to get much less opportunity with the Niners because they're about to get cut. Rookie minicamp came and went over the weekend, and early returns on Cody Schrader, the undrafted running back out of Missouri, are very positive. Isaac Guerendo was a drafted running back out of Louisville, so whether there's going to be room for him on the roster or not, it just feels like you don't walk away from a fourth-round pick before you even get a look at him, which means a running back room that is clearly dominated by Christian McCaffrey is going to get a little harder to be in. Given the success that the 49ers have had with undrafted running backs, I mean, I look at this team right now and say, how does Jordan Mason still fit on this roster? Elijah Mitchell's a player that I think Kyle does trust a little bit. We've seen him in moments when healthy that suggest Kyle does trust him. He's also I can catch the ball out of the backfield, versatile level of running back that I think Kyle really covets. That's what he's looking for. That's what he wants. And I don't know how Jordan Mason's going to be on this roster, which is a shame because I think Jordan Mason's a good player, but he is not used. And as an undrafted free agent, you turn through them until you find a guy that you're going to use. And I just think Jordan Mason might be the odd man out of that running back room. Corey Schrader, again, in 54 career collegiate games, has racked up over 5,400 rushing yards, 62 rushing touchdowns, 101 catches for 825 receiving yards, and a couple more scores there. That sounds like the type of versatile running back that Kyle Shanahan is going to figure out a way to fall in love with before he looks at Jordan Mason and thinks, all right, here's a straight ahead bulldozer of a runner, but do I use the guy? And the answer last year was no, you didn't even bother using him. So I think that Jordan Mason could be an odd man out. And that's going to be a tough guy to say goodbye to. I think he's a very talented player. I think he's someone who deserves more of an opportunity than he's really gotten with the 49ers. For whatever reason, though, Kyle Shanahan is not comfortable turning around and handing him the ball in any moment that feels like it's a leverage moment. So it's tough being the odd man out, and he could absolutely be the oddest man out of that running back room. So that's what we got. Rookie minicamp came and went without injury. We've got, Ricky Pearsall, I don't believe, has signed a contract. Maybe one other drafted player still hasn't officially put pen to paper yet. All their undrafteds are signed, and they're ready to go. I mean, this is the business of the new year officially now. It's here. So what do we got? May, June, July. You get to, we're about 3.5 months away from August, baby. And that's when football really starts. So getting closer and closer and closer. And hey, that's corresponding with the fact that we're getting closer to 20,000 subscribers, 100 and change away. And I thank you. Continue to spread the word, because word of mouth advertising is the best form of advertising. We've also done basically no advertising of the channel, and it continues to grow at a pretty decent rate. And I thank you all for that very, very much. Continue to share, continue to encourage people to check out what I'm doing over here. I'd certainly appreciate that. But please, if you're new right here, right now, like and subscribe and hit that notify button as we get closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers here. And I appreciate all of you. Cheers. The sip of the day is officially off the board, because we already did a wake up with yours truly and Larry. Let's see. We got Big Mac 8675 says, Plusers, sorry I've been missing in action for the past 2 weeks. Made the move to Green Bay. I've been getting busy, getting settled, figuring out my daily schedule. Big Mac, I'm glad the move went well. I hope the bratwursts are treating you right. I hope you haven't already put on 15 pounds with all that dairy and cheese and just meat-loving Wisconsin that there is all around you. Having said all that, it's a great state to get fat in, because you can go about wearing that flannel, that big coat, for more months of the year than you would back here in California. So enjoy your life in Green Bay. Please don't become a Packers fan. And get fat. It feels like you're at the get fat portion of your life, and I wish you the very, very best. But he says, you bet your ass been listening every day on the podcast, staying in that loop. Thank you very much, Big Mac. I really do appreciate that. And again, we got some love for Red Jet, who celebrated a birthday over the weekend. Joji saying konnichiwa to Michelle from Japan. I mean, it's all going swimmingly. JJ Raider keeping the ganja jar ready to go at all times. Always appreciate that. Again, we got all the regulars in here today. All the regulars reporting. Thank you, True Blue, Rockin' New Era. Good to see you. Good to see you. Old Dirty Hungus in the room. And of course, Smiley Dan, who wants everyone to know he's safe. Then his 11 o'clock got canceled. Man, that's just working out for everybody. Working out for everyone. All right. So, you know who things are not working out for? Wrong time for the Dodgers to be rolling into town, while most of the Giants are being rolled into an MRI machine. Jung Hoo Lee dislocated his shoulder on Mother's Day. Yes, it was a come-from-behind win, and all moms got to go home happy from the ballpark in downtown San Francisco on Sunday, and that's good. Go ahead and get yourself a win there on Mother's Day for all the mamas in attendance. But Jung Hoo Lee's dislocated shoulder is going to have him on the injured list for what? I mean, he might not play again this year. That's a possibility. Let's see what happens. How bad is this? How severe is this? They're going to wait for the swelling to go down. MRI and news will come out, I'm guessing, in the next day or two. But that's officially not good, considering that you lost Michael Conforto over the weekend to the injured list. Austin Slater is on the concussion list. Jorge Soler, he's now on the injured list. I mean, nothing is working right for the Giants. Well, Blake Snell had a good turn down in the minor leagues. Okay, that's good. Blake Snell, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, can get out minor leaguers. Fantastic. Elio Ramos, this is your shot. Elio Ramos, it doesn't feel like you're going to have to do an awful lot to stick around the major leagues up here, but maybe you will, because Farhan's got no patience. No patience for a rookie who's trying to figure it out, and this man's no longer a rookie, and it's time for him to get 400 goddamn at-bats to see what you got in Elio Ramos. The Giants are always stuck in this weird gray area since this Farhan thing officially became the era that we're sitting in. And it's just been mediocrity stacked on top of mediocrity. It's getting a little frustrating. It really, really is. Right now, they're not scoring many runs. They're allowing way too many runs in the National League. And it was summed up on CBS saying if a player isn't hurt, the chances are he's underperforming. Yeah, that's kind of the way it feels. Absolutely the way it feels right now. And here come the Dodgers. It is a really good pitching matchup tonight. Jordan Hicks, the one guy who has really been, I think, the brightest spot of the year in terms of any new guys for the San Francisco Giants. So Jordan Hicks goes against Yamamoto. Again, Giants did a great job trying to sign him. Just couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done, Farhan. A's are at the Astros. The A's have become a pretty interesting baseball team in spite of themselves, in spite of the fact that they're literally built to be dead on arrival. They are anything but. That's what makes them interesting, and we'll tell you a little bit more about Damon Zapoppin here in just a second. And we're officially going to have some artwork. I forgot to load it today, but I see that the Last Dive Bar guys have made some artwork to promote the fact that Damon Amendola and I are going to be coming to you from Line 51. Again, details coming up here in just a little bit, but Oakland, you're sneaky interesting. You are a sneaky interesting baseball team. You weren't built to be that, but you are. Again, it's amazing how the A's are like perpetually sneaky interesting in spite of ownership and despite giant ownership spending, they can't even pretend to be that interesting. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Here's also a story that I think you have to admit, that's a little weird. Weren't really expecting that one. Wait, where's my Bob Nightingale story? Here it is right here. Do you remember Khris Davis? Of course you do. Khris Davis, over a 3-year stretch, hit more home runs than anybody in baseball for a time there. Khris Davis led Major League Baseball in home runs back in 2018 with 48 home runs. Khris Davis then was out of Major League Baseball. The pandemic, his own interests started to wane, his skills started to deteriorate, and that's the way it ended. And Bob Nightingale officially put out a follow-up about Khris Davis from Scottsdale that has nothing to do with him trying to work his way back to Major League Baseball. What Khris Davis is trying to do is work on your car. How many mechanics in any garage anywhere in the world once led Major League Baseball in home runs and made about $60 million in their playing days? Bob Nightingale writes, these days you can find former Oakland A Khris Davis working on cars, changing oil and filters, fixing flat tires, and perhaps one day being able to replace your gear ratios and fuel systems. He's not quite there yet. There was no more opportunity for me in baseball, Davis told USA Today. So I did a lot of searching of who I was outside of baseball. I'm still young, and I didn't want to just sit at home. So he decided to follow a passion. He likes cars. Not the way my son Ozzy likes cars, like Lightning McQueen, Disney, Pixar. He likes going under the hood and tinkering. So the 36-year-old, still very much a young man, Khris Davis, decided to go to the Arizona Automotive Institute for a year. He graduated a few weeks ago. Hopefully his commencement was not interrupted by protesting students. And his I guess it was a tough class because he was there from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., 5 days a week. There were 15 students in the beginning. There were only 4 who graduated. So he worked his way through that mechanics minor league level. And for a car guy, apparently, he was a guy who wanted to work on cars, liked cars, but he didn't really have a knowledge of it. So he's going back to the bunny slope of working on cars here. He's not some deeply detailed, I'll fix your transmission level of auto mechanic. He's a grease monkey. He likes getting under the hood. Good for Khris Davis. I hope Khris Davis finds more happiness changing oil filters than he did changing in a clubhouse. I really do. What a great thing to be able to stumble into with a level of financial security that's just going to allow you to work at your own pace, do what you want to do. Khris Davis, the auto mechanic. He's like, I was 13 years old. I saw Fast and Furious. The movie was epic, and I just wanted to be part of that scene. You have like a car friend and guys who hang out at shows and races. There's something to be said about having a nice car. His first car was a 78 Caddy from his grandfather. Right now, again, he made a lot of money in baseball. He's got some nice cars sitting in his garage. He's got a 6-car garage in his mansion somewhere in Scottsdale. He's got a 61 Chevy Impala, a 1990 Shelby Mustang. He's got a Dodge Viper GTS, a Ford Raptor, and a Range Rover. It's like I'm changing my own oil on my 61 Impala now. Isn't that really it? Isn't that the secret of life? Make money doing something that you like, and then really be able to turn something that is a hobby of yours into your next profession. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if I ever hit Powerball, congratulations, Damon, you are a millionaire. I like this enough to where I would absolutely keep the YouTube thing going, but I would probably do fewer shows a week to barbecue more. That's my happy spot. That's my happy place. I love my Weber grill. I could dick around on my Weber grill every single day if the weather was nice and be happy as a clam for the rest of my life. Damon, aren't you bored flipping burgers? No, not really. I kind of like it. So here. Go take your car to Khris Davis. Guy used to lead Major League Baseball in home runs. Now he's got a really nice wrench set. Probably happier than ever. San Bruno Mike asking, did anybody see those northern lights over the weekend? I did. I missed them entirely. Like, I thought you had to be like further north. I thought you had to be in Vancouver to hit northern lights. I'm seeing pictures of northern lights over the Golden Gate Bridge, and I'm like, wow, that was gorgeous. I missed that, and I don't even know what to believe anymore because of AI, and I don't know what to believe anything. I just look at it once, and I don't believe it. And this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. Oh, Red Jet is saying that the Bay Area just may get another shot at seeing the pretty lights in the sky. All right. Somebody keep me in the loop. Let me know. Alcohol, getting back to our original topic today, whomever gets Mitchell or Mason is going to get rewarded. Yeah, I mean, there's a really good running back in both of those guys. The 49ers just, Kyle Shanahan couldn't give up his Christian McCaffrey addiction to give anybody else a shot. If you're not going to give the guys behind your starter much of a shot, and you've had so much success with the undrafted free agent running backs, I think you're just going to turn over the keys to a new class of undrafted free agent running backs. See, Red Jet's now getting international birthday shout-outs. There you go. Konnichiwa. Otis saying, I hope that Jordan Mason stays, especially given Elijah Mitchell's injury history. I think Jordan Mason is more likely to be odd man out. I think he is. Just in the way that Kyle wants his running backs used. Dale's doing the math for us. 17 Sundays until Niner football. 17 Sundays. All right. Wow, you guys are really paying close attention. Jack's Pizza in the back is gone. I literally just took this down in between Wake Up and this show. And by the way, it wasn't a pizza, it was a snowman. And the reason why I took the snowman down is because it's May. So, but I just took it down and I had to rearrange the shelves, the books on the shelves, which fell mysteriously, had like a bookshelf earthquake or a ghost or something. But thank you, Rockin' New Area 84. Your attention to detail is impressive. Really is. It was a ladybug. There was a ladybug up there too, but that's been gone a while. God, you guys are paying attention. Big Mac saying 20K. It's happening this week. I can feel it. Yeah, next 10 days probably does happen. Maybe not even that long. Depends on what kind of bump the channel gets with the everyone will click in to see what's going on with the NFL schedule release. The NFL really is just nothing draws eyeballs to my channel quite like the NFL. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Jung Hoo Lee is done. I don't know if he's done yet, unless you saw something that I didn't. I hope not. But again, you dislocate your shoulder as a baseball player, you're in a little bit of trouble. You're in a little bit of trouble from a swinging standpoint, from a throwing standpoint, from a fielding standpoint. I mean, these shoulders are just simply not optional in this sport. So, not good. Not good. Giants are the walking wounded right now. I agree with you, Otis. Ain't good. Oh, Johnny Jackson knows something we don't. Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champs 2024. Probably not. Probably not. I don't think that they're going to be a better football team than they were last year. And last year they weren't good enough. So I don't know about that. But to say that there's plenty of season left would be a slight exaggeration at this point. So don't want to rain on your parade entirely. Sporticus, Chris Paul, Michael Conforto heading up the Bay Area Hamstring Club. It's ridiculous. Damon, you're starting to make it when the other team's trolls are in here. Look at it this way. If people not liking my show, tuning into my show, made me successful, I'd be more successful than I even am right now. I mean, people love to hate me. That's why I said when I got laid off, I'm the least sympathetic figure in the world. No one's going to come feel bad for me. That's good, too. I don't want anybody feeling bad for me. Tiger Tank says, Damon, it's real simple. Like I've been saying, Farhan ain't Billy Bean. You can't replicate success twice with Bean. Acolyte. Yeah, I would rather have David Forst come over and be the Giants GM right now. I've seen enough from Farhan to know that there are more empty promises than there are delivered upon talent. Straight up. Here you go. Ricky Williams coming in here. Thank you very much, Ricky, for the super chat. Trade Eli and make Mason running back 2. That would be a dream. I think it's actually going to be the other way around. I think Eli Mitchell is entrenched as this team's backup running back. And then you're going to have Corey Schrader and Isaac Guerrero round out the room, with Schrader being a little bit of a bridge between the running back fullback position, and you're keeping Kyle Juszczyk. You're running out of seats. And I just feel like Jordan Mason doesn't get prioritized to use as a battering ram on the goal line. Kyle's not comfortable using him in the middle of the field, in the middle of the season, in the postseason, in the regular season, in the early going, in the late going. We just don't see him. Just don't see them. And again, Kyle's already brought in. He's already brought in guys that I think he will be more interested than seeing what they can bring to the table for a first time than what Jordan Mason's going to bring back to the table. Big Mac again. Oh, the 20 bone. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. Much love to you, Damon, and the amazing work you're doing here on YouTube. Consider this a penance for my absence. You were no penance needed, but thank you very much. Good to see you back here. Glad the move went well. Moving is an incredibly stressful thing. It's incredibly stressful to move. So I'm glad you got through it. Let's see what else we got going on. I gave you the Khris Davis is an auto mechanic story. Oh, how about this? You just want to talk about the changing world of sports around us. We don't talk that much college hoops here. And we definitely talk even less Utah State hoops here than most shows. Not that anyone's talking Utah State, but Utah State has a center whose name is Great Osbar. Great Osbar was the top player in the transfer portal in college basketball. He just committed to Washington and is getting paid to do so. Osbar, the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year, has a name, image, and likeness agreement in place that will give him the highest known value in college basketball this season. He leaves Utah State to go to Washington, where he will be paid not $1, but $2 million a year. A college basketball player at Washington will be making $2 million a year. So what are we, another offseason away, another transfer portal away from Duke, North Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky, Kansas to be plunking down $3 million a year? If $2 million a year is the going rate for the top transfer portal player today in 2024, what's it going to be in 2025? There is going to become an inflection point where if you even think for a second you might fall to the second round, you can go back to college and make more money than you would turning pro. That's unbelievable. And the fact that everyone's just, like totally cool with it now. That's just the way of the world now. It's kind of amazing. It really is. It's kind of amazing. Name, image, and likeness. It's something that America never thought it would, we never thought that we would look at that in sports and just go, yeah, that's cool. But now everyone looks at that and goes, yeah, that's cool. Go ahead and do that. That's good. You deserve it, kid. Sort of like OnlyFans. Like I never really thought that all of America would be accepting, like, yeah, you can just go ahead and go online and make as much money as you can by flashing your puss, and like everyone be like, you go, girl, make that money. Isn't that great? You're, an amateur porn star making money now. That's fantastic. But that's like the fucking reaction to it these days. It's amazing. We're living in strange and different times. Let's see. Strange and different times in the NBA. We've officially got both the Nuggets and Pacers coming back from the dead over the weekend, picking up wins. Pacers at home and Nuggets on the road to even their series now, 2 games all. And that makes things interesting for this next topic that I had for you here today. I thought this was pretty interesting. Hoops Hype pumped out a story, or it's really not a story as much as it is a list of players who were sent home from an NBA postseason by an eventual NBA champion. This isn't just you lost in the NBA Finals, so of course you lost to the NBA champion. This is at any point in time when you got eliminated in the postseason, did the team that eliminated you go on to win the championship? And look, there's a lot of iconically good names on this list because iconically good players end up in the postseason an awful lot. And if you end up in the postseason an awful lot, you're certainly never guaranteed to win the NBA title an awful lot. So, good players get bounced from the playoffs all the time. Wilt Chamberlain, sent home by an eventual NBA champion 9 different times. Again, you're going to get a lot of the didn't quite get it done Los Angeles Lakers on this list. Elgin Baylor's on this list 8 times. Jerry West is on this list 8 times. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is on this list 8 times. They lost to the Celtics or whoever went on to win coming out of the West, beat the Lakers on the way to doing it. Derek Fisher is on this list 8 times. If the Denver Nuggets roar back to life in this Minnesota series and end up as NBA champions once again. It was easy to count out the Denver Nuggets down 0-2 with 2 losses on their home court going to a Minnesota, but Minnesota played both the last 2 games with hands wrapped around its own neck. So if Denver is going to win this series after all, watch them then be reinstalled as the team to beat and the favorite. And if they go on and repeat as NBA champions, LeBron James will be tied with Wilt Chamberlain for most bounces by eventual NBA champion. Right now, LeBron James, 8 times. So if the Nuggets go on to win it all, because the Nuggets sent the Lakers packing, he will, along with Wilt Chamberlain, been bounced by the eventual champ the most times in his career. By the way, Rasheed Wallace also got bounced 8 times. But again, Rasheed, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Derek Fisher, all these guys are retired, as is Wilt Chamberlain, who is retired from the human race, not just his playing days, but his living days. Charles Oakley 7 times, James Harden 7 times, Kevin Durant 7 times, but LeBron would be tied with Wilt for 9 times. The champ sent you home. So just another little storyline to keep an eye on. Another thing to kind of keep an eye on here that is also sort of, interesting is this upcoming NBA draft is one that the Warriors not picking in is not as devastating as that feels in terms of a first-round pick. The Warriors traded their 2024 first-round pick back in 2019 to Memphis in a package that included Andre Iguodala, who, again, they did win one more title with him, but basically that was a thrown-away draft pick. Andre Iguodala hadn't done shit for this team since the first time around. He was just here getting checks and giving advice at that point. But the pick changed hand multiple times. It went from Memphis to Boston to Portland, and Portland ended up with the Warriors pick at 14 or 15 here, 14 in the lottery. As it stands right now, Golden State Warriors do not have a first-round pick in the upcoming draft, which has no identifiable, definitive number 1 overall, number 2, 3, 4, 5 handful of players. It feels like this is a big crapshoot of good luck with that. And the Atlanta Hawks win the NBA draft lottery for the first time in their, I would say, illustrious career, but there's nothing illustrious. They've been a pathetic franchise. And this pathetic franchise has earned, by beating incredible odds, only 4 teams have won the lottery with slimmer odds than Atlanta had. Atlanta had a 3% chance to win number 1, and they did. And for that, they have a number 1 in a murkier year to have the number 1 overall pick than anyone can remember. Very rare does the NBA draft come around and you're like, well, who do you think is going to go number 1 overall? Normally, that's not a thinking about it at all. At all. You know exactly who it's going to be. They're saying French center Alex Sarr. is going to be the number 1 overall pick. This is not Victor Wembanyama 2.0, by the way. Not even close. So, the Warriors' only draft pick that they have in the upcoming draft as it stands right now is the 52nd overall pick. And how many good players are going to be sticking around when you can hit the transfer portal and make $2 million at Washington? Good luck with that. All right. What else we got going on in this chat here today? We're not going to go Club Plus on Monday. We'll blow it up a little bit later on. But when it comes to blinking lights, more on the northern lights, Zothamus says the northern lights seen way south had something to do with the storms and the sun or the solar flares or something like that. Yeah, I was in the car the other day. I was driving around. I was listening to something on Sirius XM, which, unless you're in a tunnel, basically comes in clear as a bell no matter where you are. It's satellite radio. And there was all sorts of garbles and glitches, and it was messy. And I guess that was the sunspots or the whatever the hell that is. Again, I don't worry about the radio anymore. I can't help but notice it didn't take out YouTube. That's all I care about. Didn't take out YouTube. Okay. What else? What else we got? Oh, boy. Johnny Jackson. Purdy has a noodle arm. Hey, Johnny, feel free to disregard both your naked eye and results and statistics to stick to that talking point, Johnny. Good luck, pal. Good luck. What else? Chef A. God damn it, she says. Just when I was starting to get into the Giants and following them, this happens. Oh, well, I guess that's the definition of being a fan, right? Through thick and thin. There's been more thin than thick when it comes to the Giants lately, that's for sure. Eric Wallace says, even as a Seahawks fan, I got to admit, San Fran's an amazing team. Enough with the San Fran stuff. But no, look, if at any point in time you're looking at the Niners and you're going, they suck, you don't know football. It's just that simple. John, Damon, I'm so glad I found you again. John, I'm thrilled that you found me again. Thank you very much. Could you just whisper? Could you whisper into the mic for old time's sake? Yes, I can do that for you. As a matter of fact, I just did. Oy, oy, oy! Speaking of old time's sake. Let's see. I got one more story for you here today. It's going to make me sound a little grumpy, but it's also going to be the most real shit you hear all day in the world of sports. Just tracking any other super chats. Never want to disregard a super chat. There you go. You picked up the Ferris Bueller 9 times. That's right, Rockin'. 9 times. Let's see. Oh, I did see another one. My man Dale. Damon, I want to hear your Wilt story. Let it rip. I don't have a Wilt story. Oh, you mean, oh, no. So Wilt Chamberlain did. When my mom was a flight attendant, a stewardess, they used to be called, right? For American Airlines, Wilt Chamberlain hit on my mother hard, which is a testament to how wonderful and beautiful the Duchess truly is. Wilt Chamberlain is also the most world famous poon hound, and there probably isn't a single flight attendant that he didn't hit on. The answer is no. No, she didn't. Imagine that. Wouldn't I be a little bit taller if I were half Wilt Chamberlain's kid? JJ Raider. No Club Plus, we're getting scammed. Well, we're doing it right now. You're getting a little Club Plus right here, aren't we? What do we got? We get the folks who didn't like the Travis and Taylor Swift attention shouldn't watch Pirates baseball. The Skynes' first start had an awful lot about his super famous girlfriend, Livy Dunn. I don't even know who that is. Wasn't she on Girls on HBO or no, that was another Dunn or something. I don't know. But since we are talking about girls, women in this case, it's not called the GNBA, it's the WNBA. It's not the girls NBA, it's women. Let me give you this. Someone says she's an LSU gymnast. Okay, I don't follow college gymnastics. I don't care how many Instagram followers because she bends over and shows her clam she might have. I don't care. My last story of this show here today was Aja Wilson. She's a WNBA player, and she's a significant one. She's a two-time WNBA champion, and she finally gets a sneaker. Caitlin Clark, the first WNBA player to be given like her own sneaker deal, right? And I guess the world who follows women's professional basketball, looked at that and instead of saying, hey, there's a first, just complained that it took so long to become a first and that how this woman definitely needed it too. Right from this newsletter that I subscribe to, it says, the announcement comes amidst public discussion following Caitlin Clark's multi-million-dollar deal with Nike. Critics, including Atlantic columnist Jameel Hill, questioned Nike's priorities, highlighting Wilson's achievements and influence in the sport. However, Wilson's Instagram post revealed the deal. She said she posed with a T-shirt that said, what, of course I have a shoedeal.com, which sent everyone to the Nike site to order her shoe. That's pretty savvy marketing right there. So let me just put this out. And this is a big problem that I have with soccer. And I would urge women who like the WNBA to not become a bunch of soccer assholes, because I don't like soccer. I really don't. I'm not a fan of the sport. I think it's boring. I think any sport where you just spend much of the time just running around and not scoring is just, it's not for me. I understand it's for other people. That's great. Not for me. Don't like it. I don't have to like everything you like. The same way you don't have to like everything that I like. But the World Cup rolls around and I'll ask like a legitimate soccer question. And I'll get all these soccer snobby answers about like, well, you don't care. So like, the first sign of curiosity that I express to your sport should be welcomed, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? Like, hey, dude who never really cared. Now you are kind of caring. Like, that's cool. But no, it doesn't happen very often. This brings us back to the WNBA. And like there is this handful of women sports commentators who I see in the echo chamber of my Twitter account who are basically trying to shame anyone who's just like, oh, like the WNBA is out there now. All right, I'm a little interested. Let's give it. And they're like, it's been around for 25 years and you should have been here. No. You don't get to fucking decide when I get interested in something. I'll decide it. And when I finally am interested in your sport, you shouldn't go out of your way to make me fucking detest the way you've reacted to my interest instantly. Let me tell you, the amount of people who are trying to say that the new shoe for Aja Wilson is a long time coming and should have been, would have been, could have been. Are you out of your fucking minds? And the reason why Nike didn't have a single woman attached to a signature shoe is before Caitlin Clark came around, nobody gave a fuck. Okay? Let's be honest. The WNBA, after 20 years, finally is pinging on the radar. Don't act like it was us not getting it. Be grateful that you're finally getting the attention that you crave, that there's a woman who brought more people into the tent than ever before. The reason why Nike is selling this shoe now as opposed to then is because then nobody would have been interested. Now they are. Nobody at Nike is interested about doing right by women. They're just selling you shit. That's it. That's all. Nike is here to sell you shit. That's it. They're not here to right the wrongs of sports inequity. I mean, they'll try to look like that because people eat that virtue signaling bullshit up like oatmeal. The only reason why Aja Wilson has a sneaker deal is because it finally makes sense to have two of them for Nike. That's it. Financial sense is all it makes. This isn't confirmation that everybody had it wrong this entire time and now they got it right. We'll find out. We'll find out here. But there is a group of women NBA media aficionados that at a moment where they should be welcoming everyone into the tent, they're turning into a table of mean girls. It's the wrong way to go about growing your sport. It's the wrong way to go about growing your sport. Like, no one was interested at all. Now people are peeking in, kind of interested. What's going on in here? You can't be like, no. You should have been in this curtain. You should have been in this tent years ago. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with us. You just got interesting 5 minutes ago. Let's not pretend. So there you go. That's everything I got for you today. I hope it was good for you. It was good for me. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thanks for your super chatting generosity. Thank you so very much for, oh my God, hold on, wait a minute. Oh my God. Let me tell you right now. Get some sandwiches at Ike's. Get a whole bunch of sandwiches at Ike's. Get not just one today, get 2 sandwiches at Ike's. Get Ike's for your office. Do it now. Sign up for the rewards app. That's my man right there. Get yourself a sandwich at Ike's. Get yourself a beer at the Dubliner, baby, on West Portal. My kind of bar, your kind of bar. All you got to do is go in there once and you're going to be like, this feels like home. I like this an awful lot. Go to the Dubliner on West Portal. Get yourself a drinky poo there. You'll be happy that you did. Let's see. What else do I got to tell you? Oh, yeah. Damon's a poppin'. Line 51 Brewing Company on June 7th. That's a Friday. Doors are going to be at noon. I heard the Last Dive Bar guys got me and Damon Amendolara who are going to be doing a show over there. I heard they booked the mayor of Oakland. So we're going to come and talk about what an absolute scumbag fuck John Fisher is. That's going to be fun. And then I'll tell you once again, when you got to run your frustrations just out of you, right? You need to run, get it out of you. How about checking out the Guardsman Presidio Half Marathon? If you use promo code Damon, you get 25% off your sign up to participate in the race. And again, if you just want to make a donation to the Guardsman, come on out and hang out and have some, pancake breakfast and beer and Bloody Marys on a gorgeous, hopefully it'll be a gorgeous day on Crissy Field. There's all the information that you need. You can scan that QR code right there. You can go to guardsman.org, my preferred charity here in San Francisco, raising money for Bay Area at-risk youth. And we'll be telling you more about both of these events and a few others along the way as the week goes along. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It is always awesome, like I said, to hang out with you. It is my privilege to have you in this chat, to have you watching. Thank you so much for doing so. And the only thing I have left to tell you today is that sports don't build character. They reveal it.